Let's start with the Bills and Dolphins.
Yes.
And we'll start on the offensive side of the ball here with the Bills.
Right.
And I think, first of all, let's just start with this, because we'll talk Bills offense, Dolphins defense. And I think we think the Dolphins defense is going to be one of the better defenses this year in the NFL.
Yes.
But you saw a few things where you're like, man, if they play like this as opposed to that, they could be top 1, 2, 3, and it's all about the blitz. That stuck out to you in watching this game, right?
They got to dial it back. I think that's probably the biggest thing I would look at. Just too aggressive, and you don't have to be a scientist or a brain surgeon to watch that football game and go, wait, I understand they got the strip sack fumble that set up the quick first touchdown for the Miami Dolphins, but at some point you got to reassess and go, wait, but other than that play, we've just been absolutely torn apart. And then even on some other plays where we didn't get torn apart, we were just like, oh, gosh, thank God we didn't get torn apart. It was so close. Oh, my gosh, he almost hit that, and that would have been a huge play. Or, oh, my gosh, that good thing that one guy didn't block long enough, or we were screwed down the middle here. And we've seen them 2 weeks in a row get screwed by quarterbacks that are talented and have a little bit of a plan in Lamar and Josh Allen. So my big thing with them is I love it. I love what they do on defense. They're the second to last defense in football right now, all right, statistically. So they got to readjust, right? Yeah. That doesn't mean you're not a good defense. The stats don't always say it all, okay?
Had to go up against Josh Allen and the Bills
and Lamar Jackson and company.
Lamar,
exactly
yeah.
right. But I do think that statistic line and what those two quarterbacks have done to them should make us go, or make them go, wait, we might need to be a little more tactical about our approach here and not do it so much, right? And that, to me, was one of the big turning points of the game we'll hit on here, is when they were a little bit more tactical. And my last thing, just as a broad statement to start this conversation out, is they're too good on defense to be doing this to their team right now. They're too good to be, wait, I'm in your face man-to-man, and there's no safety back, and if we don't get the sack, then I'm screwed man-to-man, and it's going to be a big play. Or if I miss the jam, watch out, even if the blitz does get home, you're going to be open so quick the quarterback's going to hit you, and it's a big play. They're too good across the board. They don't need to rely on it, and the light went off at some point in this football game, which was good to see.
Because they got Christian Wilkins, who you noted in
right.
your cursive writing. That Jalen Phillips. They got Melvin Ingram. They got Trey Flowers. You thought they were winning their battles during the game one-on-one.
That's what jumped out as you went through, and even on some of the blitz plays where you're like, well, the blitz actually didn't get home. Just one guy actually beat his guy. And then as the game went on and we saw the Bills start to sputter a little bit or not march up and down the field quite as easily, there was disguises, maybe show that look, drop out. And then, just let their front four go to work, like you just said there. I mean, they didn't have Raekwon Davis in this game, who I like him too. But, those guys we just talked about on the edge, they can win their one-on-ones. And along with, hey, this guy blitzes, this guy drops out, just to create a little confusion at times and all that. You add Emmanuel Ogbah into the conversation, you go, they got plenty of guys. They don't need to blitz to force the issue all the time. And what's different than years past, where I think they had to force the issue a little bit, was their offense was sucky-ducky the last few years. So they went, defense has got to create a few plays for us to win the game. They don't have to do that now. The offense is good enough, right, to where you can go, we don't have to save them on a weekly basis. And, hopefully that Josh Boyer and Mike McDaniel will figure that out.
Yeah, early on it was not working for them. You noted first play, aggressive all-out blitz, Diggs on that 28-yard gain
right
down the middle.
Right.
First, I think they're touchdowns, too. And I think we have a graphic on this, too, Kristen and Pete, on Josh Allen and beating the blitz. It just shows what you're talking about here. Against the blitz, 22 pass attempts, completed 17 of those. His 2 passing touchdowns were against the blitz. But when he was not blitzed, his yards per attempt was basically cut in half. Right. No touchdowns there. Sacked a couple of times. He was sacked as many times when he was not blitzed as when he was blitzed.
Right.
So do you give more credit to the Miami Dolphins for making that adjustment, or more blame and they probably shouldn't have been doing this in the first place?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of both. You can go there, right? But I think that at the end of the day, you just got to go, hey, good job self-scouting thyself and realizing, wait, we got to change it up here. And then we can beat these guys. We don't need to do this here. And why give him this chance? And then the Bills' game plan was so focused on the all-out blitz, and we're going to have a plan, and you just keep doing it, and we're going to keep torching your ass, that when Miami started changing it up, the Bills for a period of time had a hard time adjusting. They were like, wait, we called a play for the blitz. We called a play for the blitz. Oh, no. Well, I don't have as many options against the zone coverage here or this, detailed zone coverage, whatever else. And that made life hard. So, yeah, it was a good adjustment. And, their talent just pops off the film when you watch it on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, they're even when they're getting torched, you're still going, man, there's some big, fast dudes. Man, that secondary can fly. And that just, to me, is more evidence of saying you don't need to be quite this aggressive and take that many chances.
Buffalo was probably a little freaked out early on, first quarter strip sack, because they had, a 7-man pass protection, and the Dolphins still got through?
Still got there. They messed it up, too, though. To that point, they had it was a mess up. It wasn't really like we exposed the protection game plan, right? There's a difference there to me. When you expose the game plan and guys are just running free, that's like, oh, crap, they don't have a game plan for it. We already saw them block it a few times and hit some big plays, and here they're set up. He's gonna throw a post down the middle to Gabe Davis, but I don't know if it's a left tackle or the running back there. They have the numbers. They have the people to pick it up. Allen is actually fading away that way because he knows his only issue is on the front side where he's outnumbered. So he's kind of backpedaling, going backwards a little bit, buying himself time because he's going, oh, my gosh, I got such a great look. And if I put this ball somewhat on the money, it's going to be a 30-yard gain, if not more, if Gabe Davis breaks the tackle, right? So he's floating away going, wait, I'm good on the backside. We're good here. And then, boom, Javon Holland hits him, strip sack fumble, boom, Dolphins score, and it gets them going and gives them a little momentum on that side of the ball.
Anything more on Allen? We saw him miss a wide-open receiver, didn't set his feet late in the game.
Right.
Could have been the game-winning or go-ahead touchdown. Anything more? Was it an unusually sluggish game for him? Or
I can't say that it was. They need to help him out and just make the game a little easier for him, like I said on Monday. Hey, the end of the first half, not spiking the ball, that's still a weird one. Like, I don't know if he didn't understand the rule or whatever.
He fumbled the snap.
And I think in his mind he thought, you're not allowed to spike the ball there. But you can. This is different than Jacoby Brissett, where there was a little bit of the, like, week 1 against Carolina, remember? He fumbled the snap, and then he faked the spike and then spiked it. That should have been intentional grounding. I wonder if that got in his head, but that was a big moment in the football game. Left points on the board there, certainly. And then, hey, the 6-yard out route on 4th down, in the end zone. He does have a tendency at times with those kind of balls, because he's so talented, that he just flicks it out there really fast, and just his feet are cockeyed, and sometimes they're not even on the ground. It's a little bit Aaron Rodgers-ish like, and he missed that. But the problem with that play too that bothers me a little, they had a little cool little rub play, and they switch release the 2 receivers. Gabe Davis is going to be wide open. He's setting up to throw Gabe Davis because he's going to be open over the middle. He gets held. And that makes him, he's kind of like looking at Davis like, I'm going to throw it. And then the rules are usually you don't throw late into the flat. So he's trying to make it happen quick because he's going, oh, shit, I didn't really set up to throw there. I've looked over the middle. I don't want to throw a pick 6. So he's trying to throw it really quick. He rushes it. He misses it. And, that was tough to overcome there.
You did note that. You thought that the Dolphins secondary may have gotten away with a couple
holes.
A few.
I thought there was a few plays, especially in the 3rd and 4th quarter where, again, I'm not trying to say it made it. I'm not saying they definitely would have won. I just went, man, I watched football all week, and as ticky-tack as everybody is on defensive holding and all this, and they got away with a few egregious ones, I thought. That, again, that happens, and that just was one of those things that happens on that day.
That might be a trend, though, because we saw in that Monday night game that you were at in New Jersey.
Yes.
There were some egregious holds on receivers that were not called.
It was ridiculous.
Yes.
I don't know, what the hell happened, really, honestly. I mean, after the first 2 weeks, you're going, whoa, they're going to call everything.
Right.
And then there's 2 games right there where you go, well, they're just going to let them, attempted manslaughter on some of these wide receivers.
I mean, they were clear as day. One more thing on the Bills offense here.
Lead me there.
Always looking for guys out of the backfield. They have a weapon in Stephon Diggs, of course.
Yep.
And those receivers seem like they could be pretty good with Gabe and McKenzie. But how about the guys out of the backfield? We did see Singletary with a big play.
Right.
But you like some of the things they're doing with Reggie Gilliam, the H-back.
He's a mismatch. He is. He causes problems because you're a little worried about, the 2 tight ends set and the I formation, and coaches don't want to be outnumbered in the run game there, as we talk about. But his ability in the back, as a receiver and as a receiving tight end is quite impressive. It really is. Him and Dawson Knox together are going to cause some problems as they continue to figure out this problem. And then I'm going to throw on there another guy that I think has got to get infiltrated in this offense in that backfield a little bit is James Cook. I like Zach Moss and Devin Singletary. I do. James Cook, though, I do believe that they can continue to grow his role. Some of those plays you see Singletary catch the ball and maybe get 10, 12 yards, and he makes some people miss. I go, Cook can do that too, but he's got an extra gear that 12-yard run and catch is going to be 25 yards with James Cook. And it jumps off to you on the screen. He's just got to get in the trust tree, I think, in the offense as far as protecting the football and protecting Josh Allen in passing situations. Thanks for watching, homies. Hit subscribe to see all my unbuttoned videos. You get to see me, Ahmed Fareed, all the big player breakdowns, game breakdowns, player interviews, and my film analysis. So please subscribe. Chris Simms Unbuttoned. Peace out.